Hogeback to the red corner. Hogeback to the red corner.
Hogeback, as we mentioned, represents Powerhouse MMA, which is in Maryland, as well as Stout Pittsburgh. And his corners are split. You got Mike Wilkins and Rob McCraw from Powerhouse. He said he's started fighting after college at Powerhouse. He's still loyal to those guys. He never wrestled in high school. Everything he learned was from Rob McCraw and Chris Bauer at Powerhouse, and you gotta love that level of loyalty in the sport.
Yeah, and it's working. He's on a 2-fight win streak. His only loss was by split decision, so he very well could have been 4-0. He made his debut, his amateur debut for 247 in November of 2020, and this is his second fight for 247. Of course, he's fought elsewhere in between. The crowd is behind him. The nickname Hound Dog is fantastic.
Hound Dog says he wants to get the finish. He said, every fight I've had the opportunity for a finish. I don't think my killer instinct came out. It did in the last fight, but I made a mistake. And that's how you make your name in this sport. Take a look at the tail of the tape. What jumps out at you, Luke?
Well, I think the height is probably the biggest thing. They're close in weight at 136, 135 pound division. 5'9" is on the taller end, so we'll see if there's a height or reach advantage. The records are very close. Of course, a couple years older for Anthony Hound Dog. Jake Zach has a ton of experience at his age.
Interestingly, the 3-1 record, he was 2-1, and he took a year off after the third fight. He said, I'm getting older. If I'm going to make a run at this sport, I have to make the necessary progressions to compete at the highest level. And during that year off, he worked on his boxing. The last fight, which was a win, he kept it standing the whole time. So we'll see, what does he do? Does he go back to his, well, he never wrestled in college, so he doesn't have those roots. But does he go back to being the ground game where he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, or do we see more of that standing style?
Well, we'll have to see, because the mullet man, Jake Zach, has a pretty rare Achilles lock, a leg lock victory. So on the ground, you might get some leg lock action, which is pretty rare to see in MMA.
Let's get the